Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about why your wearable devices might be making you a worse athlete and robbing you of some fitness and robbing you of some performance. So if you are somebody who wakes up in the morning and before you even get out of bed, roll over and you start clicking through your watch to look at your recovery score or your sleep score, or if you have to open up an app on your phone to figure out how you actually slept, then you're using these devices wrong. And because of that, they're robbing you of some of their potential benefit, but they're also robbing you of some fitness benefits and some performance benefits. These devices are best used when we zoom out and look at long-term trends. We don't want to see people waking up in the morning and deciding whether or not they stay on the couch or whether or not they get up and train and work out based on the score that they see there for one single day as one snapshot in time. The unfortunate hard truth about human physiology and just the way the human body works is that it does not respond to change or to inputs quickly. It only responds to inputs that you deliver repeatedly over a long period of time. So if you were to think about this in terms of strength training, if you go to the gym one day or 2 days, or even for a week, you're not going to gain a ton of strength. If you go to the track and you run laps and you do it for a day or a week or even 2 weeks, you're not going to get a lot faster or become a better runner. Your body and your physiology needs those inputs to occur slowly over time, repeatedly for a long period of time. The mistakes people make with wearable devices will generally fall into 3 different categories. The first category is obsessing over the day. And so you will see people who they're that person, they wake up in the morning, they check that app, they check that device, and then they continue to check it all day long. And this can do a couple things, but one of the things it can do is it can sort of create this placebo effect. So you wake up and your device says, oh, you didn't sleep great today, and all of a sudden you feel more tired. Or you wake up and you feel that your heart rate variability is lower today, and you think to yourself, oh yeah, maybe I have a tickle in my throat, maybe I'm coming down with something. Or you do a really good workout in the morning, you feel great, and then you notice that your stress levels are higher throughout the day, and you start to think that you maybe overdid it or did something wrong that you shouldn't have been doing. And this is where these wearable devices aren't super helpful. It's great to be collecting the data over long term, but we have to remember our goal is that long-term data collection, and we don't want to fall into this trap of analyzing the day with like a hyper focus and over analyzing it. The other thing we see is that people will jump from device to device. So maybe you wear a watch to sleep and you might work out with some sort of a strap, or you wear a ring, or you wear a watch and a ring and a strap, and then you're constantly comparing all of that data. All of these devices use their own proprietary algorithm, and because of that, we can't really compare the data from one device to another device. It just doesn't work that way. So remember, pick one device and stick to it. If for some reason you have to change, that is totally fine, but know that you're going to have to rebuild that baseline because each device is going to use its own algorithm to measure it. The last one that we see people make, and the last mistake, is that people are expecting very instant results. Like we sort of just went over, you have to do these things slowly over time. So you can't drink more water and expect to see a change the next day. You can't take some magnesium and expect that your sleep score instantly goes up, or start going for a walk at lunch and expect your stress to come down. These things take time, and you want to measure it for a long time. in order to be able to make judgments about what effect what you are doing is having on your overall physiology. Okay, so enough about the mistakes. Let's talk about how we can use these to really improve our health. I think it has almost been, I'm gonna say 6 years, but don't quote me on that, since I made a video, I'll try and link to it up here, about like which wearable device is the best to improve your health. And the best thing over this period of time is that there have been so many new devices that have come out, but also a lot of the devices have started to measure similar things. And so you can now almost use any device that fits your lifestyle or style best and be able to use it to improve your health. And so the first thing is we're going to look at these baselines and these trends, and we're going to try and see what effect they have over a long period of time. Long period of time, we are talking about 30 days, 60 days, 3 months, 6 months, a year. The more we can do this, the better off we are. The longer that trend is and the longer the baseline measurement is, then the better the adjustments and the judgments you're able to make from the data that you collect. So first thing we're going to look at is your heart rate variability. And this is a metric that has become very popular, but this is your body's way of measuring the balance in your nervous system. And the thing here is we don't really want to get worried about a single low number. So for heart rate variability, generally the higher the number, the better. We only want you comparing your number to you. So your heart rate variability and my heart rate variability, we can't look at the number and say, oh, I'm in such better health than Justin because my number is this compared to his. We're just looking at your baseline compared to you. And so if I look at my baseline and I see one number out of range, then, some weird day, who knows, doesn't really mean anything. I'm going to go by how I feel on that day and make that decision of what I do training, workout wise that day. Now, if all of a sudden I start to see a 10, 12, 14 day trend of that number decreasing, then I'm either starting to overtrain, I'm pushing my body too hard and it's not able to recover, or I'm not ensuring that I get adequate recovery. So maybe I'm waking up early to train and staying up late with a kid, or staying up late watching TV, or just working later, something like that, and I'm not getting that recovery in between. It means my body's not absorbing the training I'm trying to put into it, and so I'm not getting the benefit from it. In fact, there might be some downside to it. I might be overtraining to a part where I'm putting myself at risk for an injury. The next thing we're looking at is we're going to look at resting heart rate. And so your resting heart rate over time should be generally pretty stable. But one thing we're going to look at is we're going to look for over time, as you build fitness and build health, that resting heart rate should just kind of slowly come down. Now, if all of a sudden you see your resting heart rate 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row creeping up, then it means your body is fighting for something, right? It's literally fighting for its life. It's getting overwhelmed by something. Are you getting sick? Maybe. Are you not sleeping enough? Maybe. Are you not getting a restful sleep? Like, is there something going on, some sort of noise, something keeping you up at night? But if you're starting to see that resting heart rate, sorry about that, come up a little bit over time, then something is preventing your body from being able to recover the way we want. And that, again, you're not absorbing the training that you're putting in. And so you're putting in the work, but you're not getting the benefit from it. We don't want that. Respiratory rate is a really good early warning that you might be getting sick. So your respiratory rate generally stays pretty stable. It's pretty much, in tune to you. Your nervous system wants to keep that pretty much where it is. And it's pretty neat that this is a metric that we can measure from something you're wearing on your wrist or your finger. If you start to see your respiratory rate, spike up, A lot of times that's, you're starting to just like breathe differently. Specifically when you sleep, you're not breathing as deep, you're breathing a little more shallow. And it's generally a sign you might be getting sick. And so you might start to see this even before you start to feel any symptoms. And so that can be a really good early warning sign. The other thing we want you to track is both your sleep duration and your sleep consistency. And so your sleep duration, right? Are you getting enough sleep? If you notice, hey, I'm starting to see that my heart rate variability is coming down a little bit and I'm wondering what's going on, and I noticed that I normally get 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep, but over the last 10, 15 days, I've been getting 5 hours of sleep. And then you look at your sleep consistency and you say, oh, I usually go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock, but I haven't been getting to bed till 11:30, 12. Then we have an answer for why that HRV is coming down, and we know what's causing it, and we can make that adjustment. You can also really start to find your body's natural rhythm and just say like, hey, this seems to be a consistent time where I go to sleep, and your body, your nervous system likes consistency. And so if you can stick to that time frame and sort of always trying to get to bed around the same time, wake up around the same time, you'll notice that sleep consistency helps you recover better, helps you get more deep sleep and more REM sleep, and your body just responds better to that. And so the big takeaway here is we want you to track these trends, right? We want you to be tracking heart rate variability. We want you to be tracking resting heart rate. We want you to use this to track your respiratory rate, and then your sleep duration and sleep consistency over long periods of time. And these are really helpful ways to use these wearable devices to get the most out of them for your health. So how do we make sure we get the most out of these and avoid falling into the traps of getting sucked into worrying about those outliers or waking up and just being hyper focused on our scores or checking those apps throughout the whole day? Well, the first thing is most of these devices that offer different reports in the morning, you can turn those off. And so you can get rid of those. We can also just try and use a little willpower, which I know can be hard, and not check them. But I know some of them don't even show you the time until you check it. So being able to kind of turn off that morning report or that wake up report, whatever one specific brand wants to call it, can be really helpful. The other is maybe don't check it until after you've done your workout for the day. So wake up, have a drink of water, cup of coffee, see how you're feeling, plan your workout for the day based on your sense of how your body is feeling and your plan, and then go from there. Because like we said, it is beneficial to see these trends over time. So it's not a bad thing to look at the data. We just don't want you looking at the data and making a decision off of a one day sort of temporary change or random spike or dip in something. The other thing we want you to do is take a look month to month. So maybe set up, hey, on the 10th of the month, I'm just gonna look back at the last month, or every Sunday, maybe I'm gonna sit down and plan my training for the week, and I'm just gonna, glance back and see what trends I could see if I really, really zoom out. And I think that's the real purpose and focus of this video, is getting everybody to zoom out, stop hyper focusing on the single day or the single point in time, and zoom out and look at those long-term trends. So big takeaway here, right? Stop letting these devices sort of paralyze you in the morning and overly dictate what you're doing day to day, but take advantage of them for what they're really good for, and that is tracking long-term trends. So we want to know, what's your experience been with these wearable devices? How have you found them? Jump down below in the comments, let us know, and we'll see you back for the next video real soon.